Alright, it is 10:54 a.m. and I want to make an update. I did have one trade. It was a small in and out trade because it was basically a scratch, but the setup still played out, just not really the way I wanted it to, but it still offered something. There was a lot of canceled orders, just a bunch of different setups, and I want to go over those first. But the main ones that were of my interest was AABB a bit later in the day because it was having a nice uptrend, as you can see here, and I wanted to buy it on a dip. ILUS was also interesting, and ICOA as well. OZSC not so much. INTK wasn't really an interest to me, but I do want to go over my just ideas on some of the setups I was interested in, including HMBL, which I removed because it just didn't really have the volume. But I was first interested at 940, which was right here, and that was at, yeah, 14.7. The idea was is that, it could do something where it just kind of trades in a range right here, and then it breaks this level, this 1491, into 15 and make a nice move towards the upside. IOUS was kind of similar in that you see it traded a little bit of a small range here, then it broke past this 1641 price, and they made a nice move. So my idea was also that with HMBL, but as you can see, it hasn't really done much in terms of where it's traded. It's been stuck in the same range, and the volume isn't there. And I removed it a bit later just because the volume wasn't really that nice looking, but that was an idea there. And let's look at ILUS. ILUS at 957 was right here, this candle. And the idea was is that I was interested in this for a dip towards VWAP, and this one did work out. I was just kind of iffy with it, mainly because of the fact ILUS trades with a range. Right now is actually close, but for example, 18.2 would be right here, and then 18.5 would be on the other side, and I don't like it when it does that. But I was interested in like a dip towards VWAP. It just didn't really do it. At 957, I was interested at right here, 957, 500 shares at 17.8. So I had my order right between probably the bid and the ask, and as you can see, it didn't really work out. I thought it was like a bull flag right here, a nice uptrend, and then it has like this, downtrending, and it's holding. It could be a bull flag, but it didn't work. It went under VWAP, and that's when I traded it ultimately at 10.06. Let me hide these verified canceled orders. I did buy IOUS at 10.06, which was right here, 10.06, right here, and I was in at 17.6. Right here was my entry. So the idea was is that it had an uptrend. I thought it would do a bull flag. It didn't work out. It went under VWAP, but it's like, building itself up. It's looking all right, and I'm in at 17.6, but I did get out of it rather quickly. Um, yeah, 10.06, 10.08 was when I was out, which was right here. And I got out at 17.65, which is a small difference from my entry, just a tiny piece. I made like 25 pennies. It wasn't, my goal. It was a scratch, but the idea was is I had an uptrend, downtrend under VWAP, holds VWAP, I'm in, and then it consolidates for a little, but then it immediately starts uptrending. Why did I get out of it so quickly? Because I didn't like how it was trading at 17.5 by 17.8. I didn't like the spread. I didn't like the price action. The worst thing was the spread, but I would have cut it for sure if it were to have broken the 17.2 level, and I probably would have lost like $2. But I did have just a tiny $5 risk level with this setup. Worst case scenario, it breaks this level, goes all the way, the 17, and I'm in at 17.6. So I guess I will lose $3, which is close to the $5 risk level. And yeah, I don't like how it kind of dipped back under, but it still held this level and it uptrended later. If this, move happened immediately right here, that would have been super ideal, but it didn't do that. It did consolidate a little and hold this level, so it wasn't like too sketchy, but it was a nice move. It did get to what is this, 18.6 level, so that would have been pretty cool. I guess 17 to 18, that would be like, yeah, that wouldn't be something, that wouldn't be too bad. That'd be like 5%, but yeah, it just didn't really, work out. I wasn't gonna hold through all of this either. I would have been out at some point, but maybe here again, I would have been interested, especially after the volume sell off right here. So maybe it wiped out any sellers who were just tired of this stock and they just, got taken out. So now I can uptrend nicely, but the volume wasn't that nice anymore here. So I did lose interest in that. And that was my trade there. I did try AABB, and that was at 1020, at 1092. Some of these I just didn't get entered in. I didn't get filled, but 1092 was right here, and I didn't get filled right here. So the idea was is that, I had a nice run, very similar to the ILUS. The downtrends gets under VWAP. It's looking like it's trying to hold this level, and I did not get filled. And also didn't like the price action at some point around here because it just felt like somebody had a lot of shares to sell, and it did cause this downtrend to happen. But then I was also interested in it again. You can see 1034 at 1071. I just didn't get filled here. Is when I placed my order at 1071, which was the bid. I never got filled. And I thought this could be like, an inverse head and shoulder, and then I'm trading the head. And I don't like this sketchiness. If I were to have been in the setup, I might have been out right here just because of how sketchy this price action was. The volume dried up and it wasn't moving very much. But it did ultimately make a move towards VWAP at 11.25, which would have been the goal. VWAP is pretty much always the goal for me, but you see how it took longer. Similar to ILUS, it just took longer from what I was interested in. I don't know why I went back there, but it wasn't too bad. This wasn't too bad. This was a bit sketchier, this price action here. And I did miss ICOA. I was watching it if it could have broken this 105 level in the morning, and it did. With just one candle, I wasn't looking at it. Maybe if I saw it earlier in time, I would have been a part of this. But at the same time, it looks like it just broke past it with a lot of volume and shot up to 11.3. So I might have missed it even if I was watching. It depends on what the level 2 looked like when it was doing that. So I don't know. I don't think I'm going to trade anything else. I just had that scratch with ILUS. It did work out. It just took a while. It wasn't horrible. It never broke the range I was risking. And, that's a good learning experience. And AABB works too, although this was pretty sketchy. And ICOA, I missed the breakout here. And ILUS, I guess I also missed this move right here because it's been uptrending over the past few days. And this thing can be a nice morning panic bounce play at some point in the future. And this one just doesn't have any volume. That's really about it. OZSE, at one point I was interested in it if it were to have broken this 26 level, but it doesn't seem like it's going to do it, at least right now. Maybe it's just dipping under VWAP and it'll try to come back later. But as for right now, that's all I have. Just a few attempted buys, some plans that worked out, and some that kind of didn't work out. But I think it was good learning experience nonetheless. And if I gain more confidence, if I see more consistency, if I can see more like green trades, and nice green trades, not just a bunch of little baby scratches and then one big red trade. If I can see better, improvement, I'll be interested in trading larger. But right now, I just want to, I guess, just take it easy and just keep working. All right, it is 4:46, and I am here to call it off. There wasn't really anything else later in the day that I was interested in. I mean, I do like how ILUS traded under VWAP and eventually touched it again. Maybe that's something I could try with more aggression, but I don't want to repeat anything that I really said in the other video. It's basically said, just a lot of experience. Ideally, I could try to trade with larger size at some point, but not anytime soon. And maybe if we can get a better OTC market, after all, they're starting the uptrend, at least ILUS. AABB had a nice run, although I like it to do, more things. And ICOA could have a big, morning panic bounce play with decent volume at some point, perhaps. I look forward to the future. Just one scratched with today, and that's all I have.